What's up, family? It's Ashley here again. All right, so let's talk about it. Got a new topic for y'all. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you felt like God ain't doing nothing to improve or change your circumstances? Well, I'm sure we all have been through it, whether it was a financial situation where you were on a deadline about to lose something, whether it was your house or your car, or you got a bill that needs to be paid and you don't have the funds right now to cover it, and you praying and asking God to bless you financially or put you on somebody's heart or show you a way to get the money so you can go ahead and take care of this so you don't lose your stuff. Or you got a family member that's sick. You know what I'm saying? Their situation is not getting better. The doctors are concerned and it's not looking good. You know what I'm saying? For the home team. But yet you're praying, asking God to move on the situation, and it don't seem like he's doing nothing. Well, when my husband was in the hospital fighting COVID, he was on the ventilator for 2.5 weeks, and I found myself in that very situation where I felt like I was doing all the things. I'm praying, I'm fasting, I'm up at 5 a.m., I'm reading the word, every scripture that I could possibly find that relates to healing and trusting God and being confident in faith. All of them, I'm saying them, I'm praying them, I'm quoting them all day, every day, and nothing's changing. I got everybody and their mama praying, and it seemed like, I just wasn't doing anything. So one day I was listening to this sermon by Dr. Darius Daniels, and he mentioned that even when God is doing nothing, he's doing something because there's purpose in the nothing. And I was like, what? And so I had to rewind it and listen to it again. And what I understood from it was, even when he's doing nothing, he's doing something because of the purpose and the intentionality in the nothing. And so I was like, okay, so let me think about what is happening right now that maybe I'm just not paying attention to, because my only focus is that I want my husband to be healed and I want him to come off the ventilator. And so I started thinking about the level of intimacy that was being developed in my private prayer time with God. I started thinking about the level of vulnerability that, I had to show, and the transparency that I had to show, and the rawness in that whole experience. Because I was like, I'm not about to be cute about this. I'm not about to respond the way I feel like, the Christian way to respond. I'm about to be 100% raw about where I'm at and how I feel. And I'm not going to be made to feel like I got to put on this brave face, for everybody, for the sake of, my relationship with God and me believing in God. And so there were moments where I'm on the top of the mountain, beating on my chest and trusting and declaring what God can and will do. And then there were moments where I was off in a ball crying because I was scared and it wasn't looking good. And, I didn't know what this looked like. You know what I'm saying? And so those moments where I had to be real raw and transparent with God, I went to him as a loving father, like, I'm scared and I don't know what to do. And, what happens if I have to explain this to my 4-year-old that her dad's not coming home after I've been telling her for the last 2 weeks that he's going to be all right, he's coming home and God's going to heal him? Like, how do I explain to her that he's not coming? I have a 1-year-old. How do I make sure that my 1-year-old remembers his dad? Because we don't be remembering stuff at 1. So all he has is pictures and videos. And so those were legit concerns for me. And I also looked at the fact that there were a lot of people that was passing away from COVID at that time, specifically people that was on the ventilator. So what makes my husband exempt? And again, God ain't saying nothing. So he's not saying he's gonna be okay, or this sickness is not unto death. Like, I wasn't getting that. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, God, I don't know, because you ain't giving me like no confirmation or nothing to hold on to make me feel like he gonna be all right, because God said this and he said that. And if you anything like me, I just be needing something to hold on to. So I be needing God to be like, I got you. Even if he don't tell me 100% how it's gonna play out, I just need to know that he tracking everything that's going on, and you do something to make me know that you hear me, so that way I know, okay, I got his ear, it's gonna be all right. And so, for me, taking a minute to like unpack all the things that was happening during that time and how God was strengthening my faith and how, there were so many people that was messaging me saying how, they don't have a strong relationship with God, but they've prayed more in the last 2 weeks while Joelle was on the ventilator than they prayed in their whole life. Or people who didn't even really believe in God, but was like, I've been praying for your husband, and I'm praying that, God will do something. And if he is real, that he'll turn this situation around for you. And so the impact that it had on so many people to start talking to a God that they either never talked to before or hadn't talked to in a long time, for it to bring my family closer and to increase our faith, because we were up close and personal with how shaky things were at the beginning. And the things that I always say, that the level of closeness that you develop with God when life, shakes you and stuff happens to like flip your world upside down, like that type of closeness is indescribable, because those are the moments where you really understand the sovereignty of God. Those are the moments where you really learn that he's able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that you ask or think. Those are the moments where you really learn that God is genuinely a keeper, like legit a keeper, when all hell is breaking loose around you and somehow you still in a good mood and you still able to function and you still able to take care of all the stuff. Because while all this was going on with my family, life was still going on. I still was working. My daughter was still in school. These bills still needed to be paid. Okay. Everything was still going on while my life is falling completely apart. Everything is still happening around me, and everything is still expected to keep flowing and keep moving, because life still goes on regardless to what's going on in your world. And so the level of peace that I had, even in the midst of me being afraid, that I don't even know why I'm calm right now, but I'm calm. I can't explain to you, why I keep getting up at 5 a.m. and praying when I go through this whole day of bad reports from the doctor, and I still get up declaring that, God, I know you can do it. I know you can do it. And so right now I'm just going to continue to trust that you can do it until you don't do it. I'm going to just trust that you're going to do it. And so, I want to encourage you that if you're in a situation that seems hopeless, that seems like, you're getting the short end of the stick, that seems like there's no way out of it. You've tried everything that you can. You've done everything that you possibly could to try to change the situation. And it seems like God is not listening. It seems like it's going from bad to worse, and it's continuing to spiral out of control, and it seems like God just chilling. I want to encourage you that even in his silence, even in the nothing, that he's doing something. And so whether that's an opportunity to increase your faith, whether that's an opportunity for somebody else's faith to be increased, or a relationship to be mended, or for you to learn more about yourself, because there's a lot of things that I learned about myself in that experience that nothing else would have taught me. You know what I'm saying? I recognized so much about myself that I don't think any other situation would have been able to bring out of me. And so I want to encourage you that even when he's not doing anything, he's always moving. God is very intentional, and he's mindful of us. The Bible tells us that the hairs on our head are numbered, not counted. So not I have 1,000, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he knows when number 5 falls out. So if he would be that mindful of us to number the hairs on our head, surely he would be mindful of us when we're going through trials and tribulations, when we're going through situations. And so I want to encourage you to continue to pray, continue to trust and believe, and to continue to speak what it is that you want to happen in that situation. Research scriptures that pertain to exactly what you're going through and pray the word back to God. Continue to declare what it is that you want to happen despite what it looks like, because there were times when I was talking to the doctors and they were telling me, hey, he's not doing good, and we're going to have to put a trach in his throat if he doesn't get better by this date. And every time I would get off the phone with them people with tears in my eyes, I would be like, God, I don't care what these people say. My husband is coming off this ventilator. And I had a specific date that he needed to come off the ventilator, so we did not even have to entertain the whole trach situation. And so despite what it looked like, despite what it felt like, despite all the odds being against us, despite all the no's, all the negative reports being right here in my face every day, all day, I still chose to believe that God can do it and he will. I don't care what it looks like. I I don't care what these folks say. God can heal him, and I'm going to trust that he will. And so, be encouraged, hold on to what you know and what you believe about God. And if you don't, this will be the perfect opportunity for you to try him and for you to take him at his word and to see if he's going to do it. And if he doesn't do it, there's still a lesson in that. There's still an opportunity for you to learn and to grow more about yourself and more about God. And so I was extremely encouraged after I took some time to really think about all the things that God was doing in the process. So he may have put the healing of my husband on hold for a second, but there was so much more that was developing in me, in my daughter, in my family, and all the people around me. And so I left that experience with way more than what I went into it. There was so many things. There was financial blessings that we was receiving. Our church family rallied around us. Our friends rallied around us. There was so much that I gained and so much that I learned about community and relationships that I would have never gotten had we not been through that. And so I was able to come out of it on this end and be like, it was good for me that I was afflicted because I learned so much about myself. Excuse hearing my baby cough. Their allergies is tripping right now. It's Texas for you. But he's all right. He coughing until it come up, but I know y'all hear it and I hear it and I'm trying to stay focused and not be distracted by it. But I just want you to be encouraged, and I just want you to know that God is no respecter of persons. So if he did it for me, he'll do it for you 10 times over. And it ain't nothing special about me. I just chose to just stand on his word and just believe him and just be like, I'm gonna believe you until you don't do it. And even when you don't do it, I'm gonna trust you to carry me through this because it's still up to you. You know what I'm saying? So even if you don't do it, then I'm gonna trust that you're gonna give me what I need to endure what this experience feels like because you didn't do what I wanted you to do. So I just want to pray with you and just hope that whatever it is, wherever you find yourself right now, that God will give you what you need, or he'll allow something to happen to let you know that he hears you. Because sometimes we just need that encouragement. We just need that reminder that I just need to know that he hear me, because it seems like it's a whole lot going on right now. And so sometimes we just need that reminder, or, that thing for somebody to come along and say something, or something to happen for us to know that, okay, he hear me. So if he hear me, then he gonna do something about it. I have no choice but to believe that he's gonna do something about it. So God, I just thank you for the opportunity to believe in you and to take you at your word and to trust you, God. And so I just thank you for all the things that you're doing in our life. And I pray that you would be with everyone that watches this video, that whatever it is that they're going through right now, that you would encourage them, that you would move on their situation, that you would allow something to happen to remind them that you're there, that you're with them, that you will never leave them or forsake them, God. And I pray that you would move on that situation, whatever it is that they're needing you to do, that you would make every crooked place straight, and that you would make every rough place smooth, and that you would just move on their behalf, that you would give them favor in that situation, whatever the financial blessing is that they need, that you would meet that need today, and that whatever healing it is that they stand in need of, that you would allow them or that family member to be restored to perfect health. And if it's not in your will for them to be healed, that you would give them what they need to endure the loss of that person. And so I just thank you that no matter where we find ourselves, that you're capable and you're more than able to give us what we need for every situation and every circumstance. And so we continue to rely and to trust on your sovereignty, on your goodness, your grace, and your mercy towards us. And so I just thank you for everything that you're doing in my life and everything that you're going to do in their life. And we'll be so careful to give you all the glory and all the honor. In Jesus' name, amen. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Like and share. Somebody else may need to hear this. And just be on the lookout for more videos to come.